The AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Juan with a high drive, deep right center field. This is trouble. This ball is going to hit the track. Bang up against the wall. In to score the tying run is Hedges. And it's swung on. Line drive, base hit to right near the line. Juan hits third. He's being waved home. Keisho will throw to second. Cleveland with a 2-1 lead. Oh, a little half swing, a little cricket swing.
Like that?
Drops it in. Around third, heading for home. Manzardo scores. And the 1-2 from Keith. Right field. Back is Khalil Watson into the corner. Book it. Oh, what a play by Khalil Watson. Are you kidding me? What a way to end it.
3-2. Fly ball, deep left field. Did Hunter get it off? You bet he did. 31st home run puts the Rockies up in the bottom of the 8th.
Sought off to third, and it got him hung up. Crawford's hung up. Crawford is out. Throw to second. That is the game. That is the ball game. What a way to finish it. Chaos on the bases and a 2-1 Dodger win.
Wow, another wild night on the baseball diamonds last night. Guardians pick up another win. They take the first 2 out of 3, first 2 out of 4 from the Twins. Game 3 coming up tonight. LeBron, when are you going to make your decision? MLB trade deadline is coming up in less than 2 weeks, and the Kansas City Chiefs show us what their new football stadium is going to look like when it opens in 2031. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody, right here on AM 1310 WDPN. The phone lines are wide open at 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. You can also text the show at 330-944-5179. And, of course, always, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel is open. The chat is open, and we're ready to roll. Sam Bourquin here. Ryan Rainsberg is
over here
on the other side of the glass. Welcome in, everybody. What a beautiful day. Mother Nature has delivered again. Fantastic weather today. More great weather coming tomorrow. Oh, if you could bottle this and keep it for the majority of the year, this is great. This is just great stuff right now. But welcome into the show. We're going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Hey, guess who's back? Jose Ramirez. He's back tonight. He will bat second for the Cleveland Guardians. The team announced that Jose has been activated from the injured list, and he is back in uniform, and he's going to play tonight. How about that? You win your first 2 games of the series against the Minnesota Twins, and then you get Jose Ramirez back. I think that's a win-win-win, if you ask me. Looking forward to Jose coming back. I hope he didn't rush it. I hope he's not coming back early. I hope we're ready to go. He'll bat second tonight, 6:40 first pitch, Twins and the Guards. Jose had been on the injured list since he suffered that left hamate fracture back on June 13th. Underwent surgery on the 16th. He did not, I repeat, he did not have a minor league rehab assignment, which I think they were trying to avoid that. It looks like that they did. So let me try to do the quick math here. Fracture on June 13th. Surgery on June 16th. July 16th is a month. What's today, Rainsberg? 23rd?
22nd.
22nd. So it's been about 5 weeks. They told us at the outset it was going to be between 5 and 8 weeks for Jose to have the surgery and to get ready to go. So it looks like he's back a little bit earlier than maybe they thought he would be. That's why I bring up the fact, because remember last time he had an injury, he rushed himself back. I hope he didn't do that here again. But it looks like he is going to be good to go, and he'll bat second tonight for the Guards. I wasn't expecting him back tonight. I'm glad he's coming back, but I've been hearing more stuff about, Angel Martinez and him maybe doing a quick assignment out at maybe Akron or Columbus or something. But the Jose Ramirez news, good to see. And Jose's back tonight batting in the lineup for the Guards, which, by the way, Cleveland now 54-48 on the season. We are 1 percentage point behind the Chicago White Sox, who are 53-47. Twins now 5 back in the division. And let me see here. The Tigers are now 6.5 back in the division. So that's a quick look at the standings before we get things rolling here today. So the Guardians score 13 runs on 19 hits Monday. They score 5 runs last night. Rainsburg,
they scored 5
should have
last
made
night?
a bet last night.
Oh,
they
man.
scored exactly 5 runs like you said they would.
Oh, God, I hate that so much.
I said they would score 2. You predicted 5, and you were the winner as the Guardians beat the Twins last night by the score of 5-2.
Well, then it's good I didn't bet on it, because then they definitely would have only scored 2. And it's true.
So that's pretty good prognosticating there, I got to tell you. We will hear from Stephen Vogt coming up here in a little bit. We'll also hear from Stephen Kwan and Travis Bizzana. I had a little quick on-field interview after the game last night, after the win over the Twins. So tonight, Slade Ciccone on the bump for the Guardians. And who is pitching for the Twins? Ober? O-B-E-R, 7-3, 4.33 ERA. So that's the pitching matchup tonight in Cleveland with the 6:40 first pitch. The Guards minus 140 on the money line. The total tonight is 8.5. A lot of baseball today. Let's get you caught up on the scoreboard. Pirates and the Yankees, 3-3. Top of the 8th inning in New York. Bottom 6. Red Sox lead the Orioles 6-3. Are the Boston Red Sox ever going to lose another game? What have they won, like 16 in a row now? Jeez, they might break the Guardians record that they set years ago. What did they win, 22, 23 in a row? Boston is just hot, and they're winning again today. Plus they play a doubleheader today. They could win 2 more games today against the Orioles at Fenway. Bottom of the 4th inning, Mets and the Brewers. It's Milwaukee 3, New York 1. Top of the 6th inning, Giants lead the Royals 1-0. Rockies and Nationals just underway, no score. We hit that one last night. Sammy's best bet, right? Rockies and the Nationals, we needed to go over 9.5. We cashed that ticket early last night. That was easy. Final score, Rockies 8 and the Nationals 7. What else we got coming up today?
Oh, Mike says they've won 14 in a row, and the record was 23 for the Guardians.
All right, so I don't want them to break that record. I don't want them to break that record.
No, we don't have a lot in Cleveland. Let us keep that one.
So if they win this one, that would be 15 in a row. If they come back tonight and win, it'll be 16. Then it starts getting a little serious there. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. Now, here's the deal. Even though the Boston Red Sox are on the verge of winning their 15th game in a row, they're still 6.5 games behind Tampa Bay in the East. The Rays are 58-42. Yanks are 56-44. But they did make up some ground. But that's crazy. You win 15, 16 in a row and you're still, but they dug themselves such a big hole. It took a lot of them for them to get out of there. MLB trade deadline coming up in less than 2 weeks. We talked about some of the perhaps names that the Guardians would maybe go after. I really believe if things stay the way they are, and by that I mean with the Central Division, and it's Chicago and Cleveland within a game or two of each other, and, Minnesota kind of knocking on the door. Tigers knock loudly a couple of days a week, and the rest of the week you don't even know they're on your doorstep. Kind of a hard read there. But if things kind of stay the way they are, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I believe that Cleveland will go make a move. And I think it might be maybe a little bigger move than the Dolans would normally make. I just got a feeling that they see that you're probably going to have to win the division. The wild card thing is out there, but I mean, just if you look at the standings in the American League right now, your leader as far as wins is concerned is Tampa Bay. They're 58-42. The Yankees have 56 wins. The White Sox have 53 wins. The Guardians have 54. The Rangers have 51. The Mariners have 51. The Red Sox have 51. It's going to be tough to go that route. You can't leave it to chance. You almost have to go all in on the win the division. And I think because of that, I think you might see them pull the trigger on a move to get a bat and or an arm in the next couple of weeks. You're not going to go get Mike Trout. You're not going to go get Francisco Lindor. You're probably not going to go get Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins. But I think they will get an arm and a bat. We'll see. That's just a hunch on my part, but I'm kind of going to sit there on that one. Okay. Again, less than 2 weeks, MLB trade deadline. It'll be here before you know it. What's going on with LeBron James today? Well, the Miami Heat apparently had a little issue where they had a leak on their social media site about making plans for LeBron James to return to Miami, and they quickly took it down. And then I see a couple of hours ago that they put something out on social media. They're looking for another person to handle their social media department. Ooh. I don't know how deep I want to read into this, but that's out there. And there was a leak by the team, apparently by the person in the social media department, and they caught it. They took it down immediately. Don't know if that person is still employed there. Pretty good chance that they're not, but that's the latest there.
Ooh.
Kalshi, Poly Market. I looked at DraftKings a little bit ago, and again, I'm not telling you to pay attention to these things. I'm just saying that it's out there if you want to look at it. But they all have the Miami Heat jumping pretty well ahead of the Cavaliers as far as the LeBron James sweepstakes. Now, does that mean anything? Probably not. In my opinion, they're moving these numbers around to get more action, to get more people to bet. That's my thought. Could be wrong there. That's just how I see it. Because people see those numbers, they see the stories, they see the leaks, and they go, "Ooh, I can cash in on this. I'm going to bet this happens. Oh, they say this is going to happen, so I'm going to go that way. I got to get in now before it changes back." I think everybody is setting everybody up on that market. So that's why I'm saying you can pay attention to it, but don't put a lot of stock in it in regards to where LeBron is going to go play next year.
Yeah, I think Purple Sue hit the nail on the head. He said, prediction market manipulation 101.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly what's going on. So again, it's out there if you want to look at it, if you want to see it, you want to see how the trends go. I'm just telling you, I would not put a whole lot of faith in the numbers going in the Cavs' favor or not the Cavs' favor. I just would not. I would not put a whole lot of stock in that. Pardon the pun.
No, it sounds like somebody may or may not have lost their job to potentially get a big payout on a bet somewhere.
I just the whole market stuff, poly market in the sport, it's not the end all be all. It's something to look at. It's something to monitor, but it's not the end all be all. This is completely different than numbers and lines on games and events. As far as I'm concerned, this is completely different. But we will monitor as we need to. Kansas City Chiefs. You're familiar with them, right? Little dynasty going, Super Bowl champs over and over and over again. Patty Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, the Hunt family. Well, as you know, the stadium they play in now is just, terrible. We can't make enough money, not enough suites. Need a dome because, the weather's so bad in Kansas City. We need, So they put their plans out today for their brand new $3 billion stadium that is to open in 2031. And it looks exactly like Arrowhead Stadium. All they did was put a translucent roof over top of it. So it looks exactly the same.
So why didn't they just put a roof on the old stadium?
Kind of begs the question.
It's got to be cheaper, right?
But now they'll have more suites, more loges. You know where we're going here. More VIP areas. So, yeah. But that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 years away before they open up their new stadium. I reposted some of the drawings at Sam Bourquin 16 on X if you want to go check that out. Coming up, Sammy's Best Bet at 4:29 on this day in sports history. At 5:29, we'll get in our poll question of the day. And we got some other news items to get to you here when we get back from the break. It's the Sam Bourquin Show on 1310 WDPN.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. As a mom, I want my kids to have full bellies, big dreams, and all the energy in the world to chase them. That is what I want for all kids. But right now, millions of kids in America are living with hunger. That means too many children are going without the meals they need to thrive. And that's just not okay. But the good news is this is a problem that we can all solve. No Kid Hungry works every day in schools, in communities, and during the summertime to make sure kids have healthy meals all year round. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. So let's do this. Let's give all the kids the chance to grow up healthy and strong.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today. In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent. Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent. Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real. And yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10,
present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinsschools.org. Being present matters.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. News and weather coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Our poll question of the day. We thought we'd work a little Stark County football into our poll question today. And the question is, what is your present day opinion of Stark County high school football? What is your opinion of Stark County high school football like as of today? Great response coming in on Facebook, on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. I think some of you may have taken the question not the wrong way, but not really kind of what I was looking for. What's like the competitiveness level at from top to bottom in Stark County? Like from the D1 schools all the way down to D7 as a whole. What is the state of Stark County high school football right now? Is it great? Is it good? Is it losing ground? Does it need to get better? How does it compare to other counties in the area? That's kind of what I'm driving at here a little bit. Would love to get your thoughts on that. The Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook, and of course the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Like top to bottom, we got 20 schools, give or take. What's your like state of the union address on Stark County high school football right now? How competitive? Are the leagues good? Are the leagues getting better? Does there need to be some improvement? Are some schools on the rise? Are some going down? Are some just staying stagnant? What's the ceiling? What is Stark County high school football? What is it? Where are you with Stark County high school football right now? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on our social media platforms. We'll get into this a little bit today, but I just want to kind of throw that question out there and see where you were. Like, do you think it's still, like, is Stark County still one of the top counties in the state of Ohio? Top 5, top 10, top 15, top 3, top to bottom? How do they stack up to, Cuyahoga County, Summit County, Montgomery County around Cincinnati, Franklin County down in the Columbus area? How does it stand up top to bottom? If I ask you today, take a look at all the schools, all the teams, all the programs. What's your opinion on Stark County football right now? Not where it was, but where it is now and maybe where it's projected to go, in the next 5-10 years. I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Like I said, I think we'll have a little discussion on that as well. Also, before we get to the bottom of the hour, high school basketball news. We got some transfer news for you. Former Kent McKinley Bulldog Jamar Keys has announced he is transferred to Hillcrest Prep in Arizona for his final year of high school. Played for the Bulldogs last year as a junior. Right now he is rated as a 3-star power forward by ESPN. So Jamar Keys leaving Kent McKinley. He's headed to Hillcrest Prep out in Arizona. All right, news and weather coming up next. We'll dive back in when we get back. 1310 WDPN.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. President Trump attended the dignified transfer for service members recently killed in the Middle East on his way to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware today. Trump called it one of the hardest things to do as a president. An administration official says 2 Army soldiers killed in Iranian missile and drone attacks in Jordan will be returned during the transfer, as well as a 3rd service member believed to be the soldier missing after the Jordan attacks. The remains of another soldier killed in Iraq during a detonation of an Iranian drone will also be returned. President Trump Monday imposed a 50% duty on a variety of Canadian goods. The White House imposed the duties through Section 228 of the Tariff Act of 1930. The tariffs apply to all covered goods, regardless of whether it originates under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. Tariffs will not apply to energy, potash, products subject tariffs under Section 232 and certain other goods such as fish or critical minerals. They take effect 30 days after signing, and the proclamation emphasizes tariffs are in response to discrimination via a Canadian tariff scheme against American motor vehicles and auto parts. The president said last week he would impose tariffs on Canada to compensate for costs from Canadian wildfire smoke that blanketed the United States. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. announced Tuesday the deferring of more than $1 billion in Medicaid payments to California and Minnesota. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services holding back roughly $867.5 million from California, $199 million from Minnesota. Money's being deferred. Both states can recover it by documenting the claims meet federal Medicaid requirements. The health secretary added the administration used artificial intelligence and advanced analytics to identify the suspicious spending. The department said its review flagged in-home care programs in California where spending growth far exceeded national trends, along with claims in 14 high-risk service areas in Minnesota tied to providers previously flagged through program integrity reviews. A Ukrainian migrant truck driver convicted of killing 2 Americans in a crash had been given humanitarian parole to live in the U.S. by the Biden administration's Department of Homeland Security. Last May 6th, Andrei Dimcherko was driving a semi-truck when he failed to stop at a red light and crashed into multiple cars. Dimcherko pleaded guilty to negligent homicide after the case stalled last year when Alabama prosecutors struggled to find a translator. Dimcherko will serve just 2 years in prison. Prosecutors said he was distracted on his phone when he hit the vehicles. ICE officials revealed the man was among hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian nationals awarded parole by the Biden administration in 2024, at the start of the war with Russia. He applied for a work visa, allowing him to begin driving trucks despite not speaking English. 74 years after a Pan Am flight crashed into the water off Puerto Rico, killing 52 people, an aviation search team has found the wreckage on the ocean floor. The Air Sea Heritage Foundation, in partnership with others, including the Discovery Channel, found the wreckage of the Clipper Endeavor last month. The Douglas DC-4 came to rest after crashing shortly after it took off April 11th, 1952, with 64 passengers and 5 crew. All passengers survived the impact, but only 17 would be rescued. The rest lost with the sinking plane. The aircraft had life rafts and personal flotation devices for all aboard, but confusion ensued because no safety briefing was given. There was a language barrier and no coordinated evacuation procedure. 69 degrees at 3:33. For WDPN News, I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
A little sunshine mixing with clouds for your Wednesday afternoon. Dry and fall-like. Yeah, a little cool. 70 degrees for the high. Clear and starry overnight. Again, staying dry. Maybe grab a sweater. Our low 53. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News. California.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow, we will be talking to Phil Steele. You know Phil. Been around for decades. Does a great job writing about, covering, previewing college football. He will join us tomorrow afternoon right here on the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN. Looking forward to that. Okay. Our poll question of the day. What is your present day opinion of Stark County High School football? And some of you have answered in maybe like, maybe I should have worded it differently. I'll just read you a couple of comments that I've gotten. I think there's too many teams in the playoffs. I really have a problem with high school football is being played in December. I think 8 teams is plenty. Okay, that's not what I asked. I asked about Stark County high school football as a whole, as the group of 20 teams. Where do you sit with that right now as compared to other counties in the state, other areas of the state? How does Stark County rank to you? How does it rank for you right now in 2026? Are we ahead of the curve? Are we behind the curve? Are we losing ground? Are we gaining ground? Are we stagnant? Are teams not getting better? Do we have some teams that are really getting better? Like, what's the overall opinion on Stark County High School football as far as you're concerned? Things change over the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Now we sit here in 2026. What does it look like for you? Are teams getting better? Are teams regressing? Are leagues regressing? Are leagues getting better? Are some teams kind of ruling the roost, so to speak? How do you feel about the current situation? I was going to put it like, what are your thoughts on the Federal League? What are your I said, no, let's just put this under one umbrella. So you got your McKinley Massillon, you got your Hoover Jackson, you got your Lake Perry, Central Catholic St. Thomas, Alliance Marlington, Louisville, Lake, all the schools. West Branch, Alliance, Perry, all the teams. What does it look like to you as a group of 20? How does Stark County football rank? Where does it sit with other leagues in the state of Ohio? That's kind of what I'm looking for. I apologize if I didn't word that better in the question, but that's kind of what I was looking for.
Got one from Mick on YouTube that says, it seems Federal League has 4 team battles every year.
4 team or 14?
4 teams battle every year.
Oh, 4 teams battle every year. Okay.
So I think
that's kind of that's kind of what I'm getting at there a little bit. Like the Federal League has how many teams in the Federal League? 6 or 7?
I don't know.
I should know this for Christ's sake. Jackson, McKinley, Greene, Perry, Hoover, Lake, Glen Oak, 7. And yeah, it does kind of seem that the same teams are at the top year after year after year. It's kind of a little bit what I'm going for here, but as the county as a whole. Now, things are looked at a little bit differently now because more teams make the playoffs than we used to, although we've been cut back from 16 to 12, which I think is good. But do you see growth in the county? Are we still one of the premier counties in the state of Ohio? Are we still there? Are we losing ground? Are other counties taken over? Has the transfer portal hurt? Has the NIL hurt? Are we losing kids to other counties? Are we losing kids to other states? And I don't want to get into I don't want to make this all about NIL and transferring, but just as a whole, the group of 20 teams in our county, how you feel about it now, maybe as opposed to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago?
Pursuit on YouTube. Stark County will always be a hotbed of football. The whole state of Ohio is down a bit, though. Stark is no different. The smaller schools seem to be a little bit more immune from the transfer nonsense, though.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the transferring stuff is basically around the Division I, Division II schools, at least in football. Now, basketball, I could probably bring a different argument to the table.
Yeah.
But just trying to get a little sense of how you all feel about present day football in Stark County, since it has always been our calling card. It has always been our ticket. We've always been able to stick our chest out and say, we do it better. We've got more talent. We've got better teams, better schools, better fans, better this, better that. Do we? Are we still there? Or have we seen a little regression over time? And if so, why? And if so, how can we improve it? I think that if you look at Stark County, I just ran down, a lot of the teams that are in the county. And then you look at Montgomery County, which has all the Cincinnati schools, the greater Cincinnati League, to name one. I look at Cuyahoga County, and I see St. Ed's, St. Ignatius, who's gone down a little bit, especially since Chuck Kyle had stepped down and retired some years ago. But then I see teams like Cleveland Glenville, and then I see teams like Mentor. And then I go down south a little bit more, and I see the teams from Olin Tangi down there in the Franklin County area really picking up, especially with the building of a lot of schools down there. We all know about the MAC League in Northwest Ohio with, all the usual suspects: Maria Stein, Marion Local, Minster, Delphus St. John's, St. Henry. Then you talk about teams like Kirtland in the Cuyahoga County area. And then I look at, maybe a little toward Mahoning, Trumbull County. Obviously, Ursuline is having all kinds of issues with their program. Looks like Mooney is on the uptick again. Warren Harding, I think, is going through some things right now. I hope they get things turned around and get better. You look down on we're at the Steubenville area where Big Red is usually going to be there. You look at some of the parochial schools in Columbus St. Charles, Columbus Bishop Watterson. How do we stack up around the state of Ohio with our league, with our brand of football? Would you put it up against anybody? Would you say that we are superior? Do we need some work? I do think things have changed by the decades, I would say. Yes, things change year by year, but I think by the decades, I kind of think maybe our dominance has slipped a little. And I don't know if it's other teams and schools are catching up. Maybe they're just getting bigger because of enrollment. Or maybe they are deciding to just bring more kids in. Give kids other opportunities that maybe you wouldn't get at another school. Joe Anthony says Stark County is certainly ahead of everybody else. Doug says, I live in Ashtabula County, but I go to many Hoover games. I would say Stark County is still way ahead. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking for. 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. You can also get them to me on the Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook. George Davis has a good one. He says, Sam, not all the powerhouses like the years past. All teams used to fear Massillon, McKinley, Louisville, Hoover. Now they're all respected, but teams know they can compete with them. Still don't like 7 divisions. I wish there were only 8 teams in the playoffs. I think things are a little bit watered down. Of course, a lot of the Massillon stuff is on here, as you would expect. I don't really want to make this Jamie Miner, who I believe, friends with Jamie on Facebook, I believe he lives in the Columbus area, if I'm not mistaken. He posted some pretty good stuff here. He says, if we're being realistic, it's right where it should be compared to the other counties in Ohio, realistically. Okay, here we go. He says, I live in central Ohio, and it's a couple of teams that can win state and moving like Massillon. Stark County has one good team moving like a college program. So I would say you're behind where you should be. Stark County competes on Fridays and brings their school and community together. This is not a diss, so don't attack me, LOL. Jamie, I completely understand where you're going here. Thank you for the comment. Mark Watson says Stark County football is alive and well. Thomas says it's the best in Northeast Ohio. That's coming from a fan in Warren. High school football is great when you play kids that have grown up in the schools, playing in the grade school and junior highs that were developed by the school rather than going out and getting a team. Bill Perini says, Sammy, I just can't wait for football to begin. John says, Lakely, I think it's the best that money can buy. Ed says, I will always love Stark County football. Even living down here, I still follow it. Jennifer says, I think we are still very competitive, but football is big all over the area. Just wish money hadn't gotten involved as much as it has. Doug says, in my opinion, Doug's opinion, Stark County football doesn't carry the wrath of God like it used to. He says some schools are a shell of themselves, and it's mostly been self-inflicted. Where do you sit with Stark County football today, 2026, and kind of compare it, if you could, to some of the other counties in the state of Ohio? Who's doing it up? Who needs to improve? Who's taking a couple of steps back? Can Stark County kind of, I hate to say get it back to the glory days because, so many things have changed in our world now. And enrollment has declined and jobs have gone away and families have moved away and they're going to different areas. So we're never going to have, what we had. But I think we can I still would like us to be like, hey, when people talk about Stark County or they talk about high school football in the state of Ohio, I want Stark County to be there front and center. I want people to look at the 3-3-0 and say, yeah, that's where it's at. But I think we've kind of taken a step or two back. And I think maybe all the schools have a little something to do with it one way or the other. But what's your thought on Stark County high school football this day and age? Want to get your thoughts on that. 330-821-1310. Text me, 330-944-5179. Get your comments in right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube right now, hello. Giving you the big wave. Appreciate you checking in with us today. You can also hit us up on the Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook as well. I think we could dive into this a little bit today. Maybe come up with some reasons for why or why not. And maybe try to figure out a couple of ways to get us, if we've dropped a little bit, maybe get us back up there to the upper echelon where we were for so many years and, frankly, for so many decades. Real quick, before we get to break, I want to run down the scoreboard for you. Pirates and Yankees 3-3 in the 10th. Red Sox lead the Orioles 6-3, top of the 9th. Brewers 3, Mets 2 in the 5th. Giants lead the Royals 3-2 in the 7th. No score. Nationals and Rockies in the 3rd. A's, Diamondbacks, Mets, Reds, Mariners are just underway. We'll step out. We'll come back with more. Stay with us. 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Music and intelligence for your life.
No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPM.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. As a mom, I want my kids to have full bellies, big dreams, and all the energy in the world to chase them. That is what I want for all kids. But right now, millions of kids in America are living with hunger. That means too many children are going without the meals they need to thrive. And that's just not okay. But the good news is this is a problem that we can all solve. No Kid Hungry works every day in schools, in communities, and during the summertime to make sure kids have healthy meals all year round. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. So let's do this. Let's give all the kids the chance to grow up healthy and strong.
To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Welcome back to the program. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number if you want to get in. Richard says, Sam, the big schools in Stark County are the issue. Massillon will always be Massillon. McKinley has died off a little bit. Glen Oak is a shell of their heyday. Hoover is what they are. Lake could compete if they were smaller. The Perry Wing teas of tough kids just don't exist anymore. Alliance Louisville lost a lot of numbers. A lot of truth there. A lot of true facts there. Richard, thanks for getting in.
Dong Bobbler with some insight says it's not only a Massillon thing, but Massillon is the only one in Stark that takes advantage of the transfer rules, and they do it like no one else.
Now, you can read into that what you want. You can read into that how you wish. But this day and age, in the system that presents itself, and you can say what you want about Massillon, you can say that, they've been doing it forever, they've been doing it for decades, they know how to do it. Sometimes they don't do it the right way. You can say whatever you want to say, and maybe some of that stuff's true, maybe some of it's not. But everybody nowadays has the opportunity to do that.
Yep.
If you have the financial wherewithal, if you have people that are willing to help the program out, the school, the football program, and you have people that can make ties, make connections, then anybody can do it. You got to do it the right way. You got to follow the rules that have been set forth by the OHSAA. And again, you can get into the discussion, you can get into the argument. Some schools, maybe they don't follow the rules, maybe some do. A lot of that stuff is kind of hearsay, especially in the world of social media now. But anybody can do it. Massillon can do it. McKinley can do it. Hoover can do it. Tuslaw, anybody can do it. You just got to be willing to do it.
Yeah, I think finally now we're at the point where it's don't hate the player, hate the game, people.
You got to put some work into it. And this goes both ways. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in.
Yep.
Okay? I'm not saying I like it. I mean, sometimes it drives me up the wall. But I understand this is where we are. I don't like having a camera on my face 3 hours a day. I hate it. But I understand it because that's where we are. Okay? Follow the rules, and if you have the financial wherewithal and the people that are fired up and excited and supportive and anxious to help, It's available for everybody. And also, here's the thing. You got to work on keeping your kids in your own backyard. You got to make sure that you can keep your kids in addition to maybe if you want to go out, and I'm not saying recruit, but you know what I mean. If you want to connect the dots, you want to make those decisions, you want to put things together, then maybe you could get a kid from another school or a couple of kids from another county or somebody from another. It's there for you to do if you want to do it. Some schools don't want to be a part of that. And I understand that too. And I get it. And I appreciate it. But if you're going to take that stance, you can't really knock somebody else for using the system. Now, if whoever is using the system and they're doing it unscrupulously and there's a lot of lying going on and sneaking around, then yeah, I've got a huge problem with that. But if you're following the rules and you're doing it the way you're supposed to do it, you're just more aggressive at it, I got no problem with that. You know, the SEC has used the slogan over the years for their athletics. And it's not just football. It's baseball. It's basketball. It's a lot. And the slogan is, it just means more. So what are they saying? What is the Southeastern Conference saying? They're saying it means more to them than it does to you. They're saying it means more in the SEC country than it does anywhere else around America. They're saying we do it better because we care more. It's different. It's better. That's what they're saying. And there are some schools in the state of Ohio, that's kind of what their message is too. It just means more. That's how they treat it. That's how they attack it. And that's why they get where they get. 330-821-1310. Get your comments in any and all of our social media platforms. We'll kind of carry this over to the 4 o'clock hour. We'll come back and also recheck the Major League Baseball scoreboard. We will tell you about Jose Ramirez, who is back with the Cleveland Guardians tonight. The Mid-American Conference preseason football poll is out. We'll tell you who is favored to win the MAC and who is picked to finish last. And we'll see if LeBron's made any news as well. That's all coming up here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Let's hang out together here on a beautiful Wednesday here in Alliance. 1310 WDPN.
An important part of the Alliance community since 1953. You're listening to AM 1310, WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A New York federal judge set the drug trafficking trial for Venezuela's ousted leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife for June of next year. ABC's Peter Haralambou says Maduro's attorneys are now trying to claim immunity.
The argument here is that he's protected by sovereign immunity as a head of state, that U.S. courts don't have the jurisdiction to try him on criminal offenses. And they've previewed this argument. They're also going to contest the military capture that led to his extradition. And we will see that motion probably sometime in September with oral argument in November. And we'll see how that argument fares. Noriega tried to make the same argument when he was put on trial in the United States. It was rejected because the United States didn't officially recognize him as the head of Panama.
Tropical storm Bertha made landfall this afternoon in St. Bernard Parish, Louisiana. That storm weakening, but expected to rake the coastline as it moves west towards Texas with rainfall. And severe storms could also trigger flooding in parts of North Carolina and Virginia today. This is ABC News.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
It's been a tough Saturday on the lake. I ordered swim trunks in this orange cream color, but it's actually more orange auburn. Oh, and it's swimwear. I probably can't even return these.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, You were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Unemployment on the rise across Stark County and much of Northeast Ohio. Job and Family Services reports Stark County's June jobless rate climbed to 3.7% from 3% in May. It was 5.1% a year ago. Mahoning County's rate rose to 4.6%, while Carroll and Columbiana counties increased to 3.9% and 4%, respectively. Portage County also saw its rate rise to 3.7%. Ohio's unemployment rate fell slightly to 3.6%. Stark County grand jury has indicted an East Canton woman in the death of an 8-month-old boy who died while in her care. 45-year-old Melanie DiMarzio is charged with involuntary manslaughter after investigators say Grant Simmons became unresponsive at her unlicensed in-home daycare March 10th. Authorities allege the home lacks safe sleeping arrangements, baby monitors, fire safety protocols, and CPR training. A judge ordered the daycare shut down shortly after the child's death. DiMarzio was booked into the county jail Tuesday. Teenager dead, another teen seriously injured after a single vehicle crash in Carroll County. Highway Patrol says the crash happened Tuesday morning on County Road 52 in Orange Township. An SUV driven by 18-year-old Gage Craig of Bowerston left the road, struck a ditch, and crashed into an embankment. A 16-year-old pastor from Carrollton was pronounced dead at the scene. Their identity has not been released. Craig was taken to Mercy Hospital with serious injuries. Neither person was wearing a seatbelt, and the crash remains under investigation. An Alliance man accused of pointing a gun at a family member and pulling the trigger during a dispute over money. 65-year-old Anthony Nelson was arrested Monday on South Liberty Avenue and is charged with felonious assault with a weapon and discharging a firearm. The victim reportedly told police Nelson entered his bedroom, demanded $500, then returned with a handgun. Nelson allegedly pointed the gun, pulled the trigger, but it did not fire. Police say a shot was later heard outside the home. Nelson was taken to the Stark County Jail. He's scheduled for arraignment today. The city of Canton looking into a potential downtown housing development project. City leaders seeking a consulting firm to study the possibility of adding residential development to a 15-acre area just north of the SARTA downtown bus station. The repository reports the project could help address the region's housing shortage, bring more people downtown, support local businesses, and create a more walkable community. The study will help determine what types of housing would work best in the area. Washington Township trustees have approved $15,000 toward a road project with the City of Alliance. Monday, trustees agreed to the funding for an Ohio Public Works Commission grant to pave the township's portion of Linwood Avenue. Road crews also reported repairs to a washout on Churchill Avenue, a water leak on Denver Avenue, and a catch basin on Lawford Street. A Salem man charged with multiple child sex offenses has been found competent to stand trial. A Columbiana County judge Monday accepted an evaluation concerning 58-year-old Mark Knight. His attorney later requested a sanity evaluation after filing a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. Knight and co-defendant 40-year-old Jan McHenry are charged with rape, sexual battery, and gross sexual imposition involving 2 children over several years. Bond was set for both at $100,000. The sudden resignation of the Columbiana County Park District's administrative assistant has prompted an emergency board meeting. Mark Guy resigned Friday, days after being reclassified as a permanent part-time employee. The Park District Board will meet at 5:30 Thursday at its offices in Lisbon to hire a replacement. Recovery efforts continuing after a tornado touched down in the Youngstown area. The National Weather Service confirmed the twister after it moved from the city's north side through the east side and toward Hubbard around 6:40 Tuesday night. The storm downed trees and power lines, damaged homes, and flipped a tractor near McGuffey Road. More than 2,400 First Energy customers in Mahoning County lost power during the storm. No serious injuries were reported. The Weather Service will survey damage today. Man accused of murder has entered a not guilty plea in Mahoning County Common Pleas Court. 22-year-old Davion Alexander is charged in the June 30th shooting death of Kamani Johnson, who police found with a gunshot wound to the head on Youngstown's south side. Alexander was arrested nearby with a handgun. His bond was set at $500,000. An arrest was made Saturday in a 4-year-old kidnapping. 35-year-old Terrence Mackin was arrested by the Highway Patrol on warrants charging him with kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and felonious assault. Mackin and 2 other men were accused of abducting and beating 2 men on Youngstown's east side in July 2022. One of the victims reportedly broke free while being transported in a van and caused the vehicle to crash. The suspect fled the scene. The other victim was left in a car after being beaten. 2 other men were indicted, but charges were dismissed. A receiver appointed to oversee the liquidation of Youngstown-based Schwabel's Bakery, a federal judge named Jason Dinoff of KCP Advisory Group to manage the company's closure process. Schwabel's announced plans last month to shut down operations, blaming rising costs and declining sales. The closure affects 673 workers statewide, including 370 in Youngstown. 69 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Afternoon highs today struggling up to near 70 degrees, a definite fall-like feel in the air, a little sunshine mixing with clouds all afternoon long. Overnight, clear and starry, refreshingly cool, our low in the lower 50s. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Juan with a high drive, deep right center field. This is trouble. This ball is going to hit the track. Bang up against the wall. In to score the tying run is Hedges. And it's swung on. Line drive, base hit to right near the line. Juan hits third. He's being waved home. Keishel will throw to second. Cleveland with a 2-1 lead. Oh, a little half swing, a little cricket swing.
Like that?
Drops it in. Around third, heading for home. Manzardo scores. And the 1-2 from Keith. Right field. Back is Khalil Watson into the corner. Book it. Oh, what a play by Khalil Watson. Are you kidding me? What a way to end it.
3-2. Fly ball, deep left field. Did Hunter get it off? You bet he did. 31st home run puts the Rockies up in the bottom of the 8th.
Sawed off to third, and it got him hung up. Crawford's hung up. Crawford is out. Throw to second. That is the game. That is the ball game. What a way to finish it. Chaos on the bases and a 2-1 Dodger win.
Wild ending last night in Philadelphia. Guardians put 5 on the board. It's enough for a win. And the Red Sox just keep getting it done. Welcome into the Sam Bourquin Show, everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday, 1310 WDPN. Don't forget you can watch and listen to all of our shows live. You can watch them live. You can listen live on the WDPN Facebook page, WDPN X page, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat open. A lot of you are getting in there today. We certainly do appreciate the interaction. Monday through Friday from 3 until 6 p.m. If you missed it, Jose Ramirez coming off the injured list tonight. He will play for the Cleveland Guardians as they get ready to battle the Twins at Progressive Field tonight at 6:40. Jose will bat second in the lineup tonight, coming off that left hamate fracture back on June 13th. He had the surgery on June 16th. He is now ready to go. That should add a little pop. Should add a little pop to the lineup, shouldn't it? Matter of fact, let's take a little look-see at the Guardians lineup tonight. Left fielder Stephen Rainsberg, give me a little, just give me a little fast background music. Something something pump you up, kind of got a good little, give you a little kick, a little energy as we give you the starting lineup here for the Cleveland Guardians. Left fielder Stephen Kwan, he will bat first. There he is. Third baseman Jose Ramirez will bat second. Chase DeLauder will be the designated hitter and bat third. Shortstop Brian Rocchio will bat fourth. Second baseman Travis Bazzano will bat next, followed by first baseman Kyle Manzardo. Right fielder Daniel Schneemann. Then it's the catcher Patrick Bailey. Petey Halpin in center will bat eighth. They'll bat ninth, rather, and the pitcher tonight is Slade Ciccone. So, here's our first five in the lineup, and I like this. Kwan, Ramirez, DeLauder, Rocchio, Bazzano. I like that. Manzardo, Schneemann, Bailey, Halpin. But the first five there, get some runs tonight. I'm not predicting how many runs they'll score tonight. I've been off the last two nights, so I'm not going to do it.
2 tonight.
Oh, you're going with 2 tonight?
Yep.
Oh. Rainsburg said that the Guardians would score 5 runs last night, and he was right on the money.
I'm just going to do what I did yesterday and say the first number that comes to my mind and just go with that. Just I'm testing something here.
Oh, okay. A new theory?
Yeah.
A new way of doing something?
I gotta gauge how accurate my gut feelings are, or how accurate my instincts are, I guess. Because yesterday I just said a random number off the top of my head. That could be total luck, or that could be, some sort of clairvoyance I don't know anything about.
Interesting.
You got to test these kinds of things.
I'm not going to say they're going to score 2, 5. I'm out.
I've said my number.
I just hope they win, and I hope Jose Ramirez gets a hit or two, and I hope he looks comfortable. I hope he stays healthy. I hope he gets stronger, and I hope he is an added punch to this lineup.
Mick says 4 runs tonight.
4?
Yep.
You're going to go 4.
That's what Mick says.
Oh.
Mick
okay.
on YouTube.
All right,
he
Mick,
said 4 runs.
All right,
tonight.
so Mick, you're in, or Mick, you're in with 4. All right. Well, if all goes according to plan, that should be enough for a win. Here's the only issue. And I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Slade Ciccone. But sometimes he just gets himself in trouble. Throws a lot of pitches. Ciccone right now is 4-6. The earned run average a little higher than I would like it to be. It's at 4.55. He's thrown 99 innings, 77 strikeouts. He's given up 30 walks. His whip is 1.40. Bailey Ober for the Twins, 7-3. His ERA is a little high too, 4.33. He's thrown 77 innings, struck out 58, and he's walked 21. His whip is 1.19. I don't know if tonight's going to be high scoring, low scoring, or if it's going to be, right there on the number that Vegas has it. They've got it at 8.5. I could see a 5-3 game tonight. You know what? I see a lot of runs tonight for both teams. I do. If you put these two earned run averages together, you're looking at about 9 runs. Did I see where? Okay, they don't have Buxton in the lineup tonight. Like, I don't see him in here. I don't know if something's going on there with him, if it's just a night off, if he got nicked last night a little bit. But Byron Buxton is not in the starting lineup tonight for Minnesota. Now, this could also be because they're going to play a day game tomorrow. Maybe the Twins don't want him playing tonight. Because, a guy who's had an injury history, it's tough to come back from playing a game, getting done at, 9:30, 10 at night, and then bouncing back and playing the next day at 1:30. I'm guessing that's the thought process there of Minnesota. So no Buxton tonight. That's a big advantage for Cleveland. So we'll see if they can take advantage. Scoreboard update. How about those pesky Pittsburgh Pirates? They got 2 runs in the top of the 10th. They lead the Yankees 5-3. New York is batting in the home half of the 10th. Brewers lead the Mets 4-2 in the 6th. Royals over San Fran 5-3 in the 9th. Nationals and Rockies no score in the top of the 4th inning. Mariners lead the Reds 1-0. Angels and the Cardinals no score in the bottom of the 1st inning. Got a final in. The Red Sox have done it again. They've won their 15th consecutive game. Holy smokes. Boston 6, Baltimore 3, and this was the day part of the day-night doubleheader. They're going to come back tonight and play again. Same for the Pirates and the Yankees. They've got another game tonight because both of their games last night got postponed due to rain. So it'll be interesting to follow what happens with the Guards tonight and what goes on with the rest of the Major League Baseball scoreboard. All right, I promised you we'd tell you the results for the 2026 Mid-American Conference preseason poll. A lot of activity going on today up at the Detroit Ford Field as the Mid-American Conference gets ready for another football season. Western Michigan is favored to win the MAC this year. Miami to finish 2nd, followed by Toledo, Ohio. Central Michigan picked to finish 5th. 6th is Buffalo. 7th is Eastern Michigan. 8th is Kent State. Followed by Bowling Green, picked to finish 9th. The Zips are picked to finish 10th in the MAC. And then Ball State is picked to finish 11th. Sacramento State. Yeah, buddy. Sacramento State. Welcome to the MAC. They're picked to finish behind Ball State at 12, and Massachusetts, or as we refer to them as UMass, they are picked to finish dead last. So Western Michigan, Miami, they're the top 2. And they got Kent coming in at 8th and Akron picked to finish 10th. I forgot about Sacramento State entering the Mid-American Conference. That makes about as much sense as putting on sunscreen for an indoor swimming pool.
But Sacramento, California, that's right in the middle of the country.
Sacramento State, a member of your Mid-American Conference. You know what? And I'll take it a step further. UMass? What the hell's UMass doing in the Mid-American Conference? Come on. UMass. Oh, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I live in a world that I do not understand. So go Flashes and go Zips. Come on. Prove the pollsters wrong. Let's go. Let's have a good season. You know, I wish one year and I'm being dead serious about this, I wish that one year, or maybe a series of years, that Kent State and Akron would battle for the top of the Mid-American Conference in football. They're always there in basketball. Football, just once, maybe twice. Be competitive. Win a couple of non-conference games that you shouldn't. Win the games in the MAC that you should. Just play your rear end off. Just get better. Try to recruit better. I know the odds are stacked against them. I know it. They know it. Everybody knows it. There will probably be a time, I don't know if it'll be in our lifetime, that the MAC won't even exist. There will be no Mid-American Conference. It's coming. Down the road, it's coming. I don't get any joy out of saying that, but that's the reality. I would love to see the Zips and the Golden Flashes. Like, I would love to see that wagon wheel game, like, really mean something. And I know it's a rivalry. I know the schools are 12 miles apart. I get that. But I want it to truly mean something as far as standings are concerned and the ability to maybe, how cool would it be for Akron and or Kent State at some point to weasel their way in to the AP Top 25? Just once, just a couple of times, just get there. Have a nice 2-3 year run where everything, how about a little luck too? How about giving the MAC a little bit of luck for Akron and Kent State, where the ball bounces their way, where some things happen that it kind of helps them climb that ladder and get some pride and some excitement and some energy back into those schools' football programs. Nobody goes to Kent State football games. Nobody goes to Akron games. Don't be fooled by the attendance on the box score. Those people aren't really there. How cool would it be? How cool would it be to see Akron and Kent just have a magical year and sneak into the top 25 and get some national recognition for the football part of it? I don't care how it happens. I don't care if it's some freak thing. I don't care. I just want to see it happen. I want to see the wagon wheel game. I don't know where it is this year, if it's at Kent or if it's Akron. I want to see Dick Stadium standing room only. I want to see standing room only at InfoCision Stadium. I know I'm asking for the moon. I know I am. But wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be neat? Look what Miami of Ohio did this year in men's college basketball. Look at the excitement they brought down to Oxford, Ohio, where you couldn't give tickets away. They were selling games out at the end of the year. You couldn't get in. Got them on the national spotlight. Now they pooped their pants in the MAC tournament, and they barely got in the play-in. But still, how much fun was that for us? We're 3 miles away from Oxford. Can you imagine if it would happen at Akron or Kent State? Just a couple of magical things to happen. Maybe, somehow get a recruit or two that you normally would never get. And they draw excitement to the program, and you win, and you upset a couple of teams maybe in the non-conference and build up that resume and build up the excitement. People say, hey, check it out. Let's go up to Dick Stadium, man. I think this team's got something going. Let's go to Info. Let's see what the Zips are doing this weekend. Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? I think it would be outstanding. And I know I'm wishing up the tree, but that would be so much fun. Because Ohio State's always going to be good. Mount Union is always going to be good. Walsh is getting better. But wouldn't it be fun? We see Ohio have great football seasons once in a while. Miami. Northern Illinois, who is no longer in the MAC. They're in the Mountain West. You can do it. You can do it. I'm hoping the Zips and the Golden Flashes can do it. I don't think they'll do it this year. Maybe soon. We'll check in with Phil Steele about that tomorrow when Phil joins us here on the show on 1310 WDPN. Looking forward to our conversation there. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show. Stay with us, 1310 WDPN.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
There it is, the Sammy's Best Bet background music, and we are ready to go. Hey, we hit last night. We told you over 11.5 with the Rockies and the Nationals. That was an easy winner last night. See if we can go 2 in a row. Back to the baseball diamond tonight. We're going to go back to Citizens Bank Ballpark, where you get the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the L.A. Dodgers. Eric Lauer against Aaron Nola tonight in Philly. Folks, look at these lineups. Look at this offense. Are you kidding me? Ohtani, Pages, Freeman, Muncy, Betts, Tucker, Hernandez. That's just for one team. That's just for L.A. And Philly, Schwarber, Harper, Baum, Sosa. Let's go over the 9.5 tonight. Over the 9.5. Philadelphia and the Dodgers in Philly. Sammy's best bet of the night. We're going over the 9.5 with the Phillies and the Dodgers. Got to go over, doesn't it? Got to. News and weather coming up next.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Tuesday his department screened hundreds of millions of federal payments and blocked nearly $100 million being sent to deceased people as part of a government-wide anti-fraud effort. Treasury screened some 885 million payments totaling over $2.7 trillion. Around 4,900 payments worth $99 million were returned to the originating federal agencies for review. Bessent told Fox Business Monday his office believes there's up to $350 million that we can stop before the end of the year. He said the number might be up to $500 billion, which is about 1.6% of GDP, referring to improper payments that could be blocked. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said Monday the U.S. military campaign against Iran has cost approximately $37.5 billion. Hegseth offered the estimate during a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing as lawmakers consider an $86 billion supplemental spending request. Covers funding for a range of government programs, including $67.1 billion for the Department of War. Hegseth called on Congress to pass the supplemental request to sustain recent U.S. military operations. The Pentagon has offered periodic estimates of the running cost of the military campaign. The last public estimate around $29 billion. General Motors said it would spend between $1 and $1.5 billion this year to bring more automobile production to the United States. Meanwhile, the company will introduce a new line of gasoline-powered Cadillacs beginning in 2027. Manufacturer stated during its second quarter earnings call Monday it will start onshoring significant manufacturing next year, bringing domestic production capacity to more than 2 million vehicles. GM said it paid approximately $900 million in tariffs in the second quarter and expects to realize similar charges in the third and fourth quarters. Despite the headwinds from tariffs, GM raised its full-year 2026 earnings forecast after reporting second quarter revenue of $48 billion and adjusted operating profit of $3.9 billion, driven by strong sales, reduced losses in its EV segment, and strong performance across multiple business segments. Thousands of non-American citizens allowed to register to vote thanks to a software error in the New Jersey Department of Motor Vehicles. In a lengthy post on X, Democratic New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill went to great pains to emphasize 3 times the error took place before she took office. She said the error in the state's motor vehicle system between June 2023 and 24 led to the registration of roughly 6,600 people who indicated they were not U.S. citizens. She said about 400 of those actually voted. New report says FBI Director Kash Patel is planning a trip to Russia October 14th and 15th, according to Politico, which cited a U.S. official familiar with the travel plans and a person familiar with the situation. The official said it was likely Patel's visit will be hosted by the FSB, the Russian security force created after the KGB was dissolved. Robert Mueller, special counsel who investigated the Russiagate hoax, was the last FBI director to visit Russia in 2013. 69 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
70 fall-like degrees for your Wednesday afternoon high, staying dry with a partly sunny sky all afternoon. Overnight, clear and starry, our low 53. Sunny on Thursday, a high of 76. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
M1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. 330-821-1310. Q92 Radio YouTube channel is rocking and rolling. Sam, Kent State and Akron need more money. Are you telling me that Vince Karras couldn't win at Kent, but he'll make 2 to 3 times that amount at Syracuse as a defensive coordinator? Yeah, 100% right. Where are you going to get that money, though? Well, I know where Akron could get it, but you need a lot of money. Like today's age, you need a lot of money, and you need a lot of connections, and you got to be very persuasive. Like for Akron or Kent to woo somebody away from a Big Ten school, an SEC school, a Mountain West school, it's going to take a lot of money. And I don't know where those schools get it. Not just Akron and Kent, but that's the ones I'm focused on. We gave you the Mid-American Conference preseason rankings about 15, 20 minutes ago. That's why we're kind of on this subject for a minute. You need money. You need money. Financially, Akron and Kent can't compete with Ohio State. Can't compete with Texas. You can't compete with Southern California. You can't compete with Florida State. You can't compete with Indiana. So you got to find other ways to do stuff. But you got to get the Jimmies and the Joes. You just have to. Some of these conferences are so, they're fighting such an uphill battle against the power teams, right? Big 10, SEC, Big 12, Pac-10, Pac-12, whatever they are now, is kind of a shell of itself, even though the Pac-12 has survived the hammer that was brought down because of all those teams left and went to different conferences. I didn't think the Pac-12 was going to be able to make it, but somehow they figured out a way. God bless Washington State and Oregon State. They dug their heels in, and I think the league's up to 10 teams now. Good for them. But if you're a MAC school, you're a Sun Belt school, you're a WAC school, Western Athletic Conference, if you are, some of the other conferences of the lesser knowns, it's so hard. because you don't have the money, you don't have the boosters, you don't have the cash, you don't have the access that these other big schools have. And in this day and age where you have some NIL money, you can use it. You can go out and get kids. You can hope that they come to you through the transfer portal. Again, it's an equal opportunity situation, but when you're throwing out $5 bills and everybody else is throwing out $100 bills, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. I hate to make this, I hate to parlay this into this sentence or this comparison. Maybe I shouldn't, but I will. If you're at the strip club and you're throwing around $5 bills, you think the girls are going to come over and dance for you? But if you pull out 100, they're all coming. That's what Akron and Kent State are fighting.
That is accurate.
Yes, you need more money, and you need lots of it. Here's the problem. What about the other sports at the school? You want to take away from the basketball program, which has been pretty good for Akron and Kent? You want to take away from Kent State's baseball program, which has been really, really good? You want to pull from Akron's soccer program, which has been really, really good? Just in the name of football, to maybe make a dent, to improve who's coming in, the quality of player, the bravado, the athleticism, what they can do. Can they create revenue for your school? It's not easy.
That's a tough line to walk, too, because
it is.
Schools have to decide, do we want to fully invest in our football program and make it profitable, or do we want to keep our other sports? Like, at what point do schools start just dropping the lesser sports that they don't feel like they need to do because they need to focus on making football profitable or what have you?
And that's happened already. You've seen schools drop sports. You've seen schools drop soccer, drop softball, drop baseball, drop swimming because they just don't have enough money. And as Rainsburg just said, if you're Akron, you've built your soccer program into a power, not just in the Mid-American Conference, but in the country. Do you want to take away from that to maybe give your football program a little juice? I don't know. I don't know if people are interested in doing that. If you're Akron, do you want to take away from your basketball program to influx the football side? Does Kent State want to pull away from the baseball program? I don't know. They've worked so hard to build it to where it is. I don't know if you want to go screwing around and doing something like that. Again, at these other schools, and look, I know there are a lot of universities and a lot of colleges that are bleeding cash. Bleeding. Like, they're so far in debt, they don't know how to move. They don't know whether to reach for their pen or to reach for the number of a bankruptcy attorney. There are schools that are in so much debt because they have overspent and they've built facilities and they've done things and where is the money coming in? And they get that, like UCLA, my God, their sports programs were hundreds and millions of, not hundreds of millions, millions of dollars in debt. Now, I don't know if they didn't know how they were spending the money, if somebody was in charge, wasn't doing the right thing, they made dumb decisions. I don't know. I wasn't there. We're talking about UCLA pre-Big Ten. You know, when they were in the conference that they should be in on the West Coast of America, out there in California. In debt up to their ears in the athletic department. UCLA. It can happen anywhere. The real big schools, the big bullies on the block, like Texas and Ohio State, I think are probably the top two as far as like money generation through their brand, through their athletic programs, through their universities. I'm just guessing there, but I think it's Texas and Ohio State.
That sounds right.
I know Southern California is up there. I know Michigan's up there. Florida State does pretty well there. But there are some schools that, like, they're leaking oil. And they just don't have the money. And that's the big Division I schools, some of them. Now, I'm talking about the Mid-American Conference. Kent and Akron, I bet you they're in debt up to their ears. I bet you they're in the red. They don't get 110,000 to come to a football game. They don't get 18,000 to come to a basketball game. They don't get 12,000 to come to a baseball game. They don't get that. First of all, their facilities aren't big enough. They don't need to be that big. But what I'm saying is you can't, like, that's all revenue. That's money. They'll never have that. Plus, they got to cover all the other sports under their umbrella. Got to pay for the swimming. Swimming doesn't bring any money in. Akron soccer, one of the best programs in the country. I don't know how much money that actually brings in. I mean, they get nice crowds. They get excitement. They have watch parties. They go to the Final Four. They've won a national championship. But I don't know how much money and revenue that it brings in. Money at the athletic level, at the big level, can cover a multitude of sins. But when you don't have it, and you're at the Mid-American Conference level, and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, it's tough to do. And I don't know a way out of it. Like, let's just say, for the sake of discussion, InfoCision Stadium holds, 28,000 people? Let's say Akron is able to schedule 6 home games, so half, 6 out of the 12. Maybe one year you get lucky, you get 7. And let's say by some crazy thing, they have 7 home games and they sell every one of them out. Almost 30,000 people. That's still not going to make a dent in their athletic department's budget. It'll help. It'll cover some of the wounds. But it's not like at Ohio State when you can jam 110,000 people in there at $100, $200 a pop. Now that makes a difference. Now that'll cover the rifle team. That'll cover the swim team. That'll cover the field hockey team. Okay? Akron, no way. It just can't be done.
I'm surprised college baseball hasn't suffered more. You would think with, because baseball has the minor leagues, they have all that leading up to the actual major leagues, that college baseball would just be getting phased out all over the place.
In some programs, it has.
Okay.
Like I know Cleveland State years ago, they said, we're done. We're not having a baseball program anymore.
I could see. That makes sense.
Akron got rid of their baseball program. Now they brought it back a couple of years ago, but they got rid of it, and they had some success.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that makes sense. A lot of, the major... I know a lot of the major MLB talents end up getting signed right out of high school anyway.
If you're
the big ones.
If you're a stud, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're like a can't miss prospect, you're going from high school to right to the minor leagues. And then there are the exceptions, say like Landon Teal, the outstanding pitcher at Jackson High School. He was ticketed to get drafted. And then he had to have surgery on his elbow. He didn't get drafted.
Yep.
But guess what Landon did have? He had the fallback plan of signing to go to Ohio State beforehand. So guess what? He's got his scholarship. He's going to go pitch for Ohio State. Build that arm up, build that elbow up, and maybe in a year or 2 years, he gets back up, he'll get drafted, and off he goes. And that's the thing you got to, you never know when stuff like that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think baseball is the thing they should be cutting or anything. I don't think we should be in a situation where colleges have to cut extracurricular sports because they're not making money on them. I think you should be able to have all the extra sports for people who want to play them.
You should.
So,
but when the money's not there to run them, you can't do it.
I see baseball suffering most in college from that.
And it's the non-revenue sports that get hit.
Exactly.
Because like I said, you're not getting 12,000 people showing up to watch a baseball game unless you're in the SEC. You're not getting 10,000 people to go to a swim meet. You don't have 15,000 people showing up for lacrosse or for field hockey. It's just not happening.
And
you need money. You need money to run these programs. But what they do is they keep running them because they have to, and they run themselves right into debt. And then everybody's turning around with their hand out saying, what are we going to do? And then the Board of Regents or somebody says, well, you could cut the program. No, we don't want to do that. We'll lose enrollment. We'll lose this, we'll lose that. Well, then what are you going to do? Well, we could take more money from the football team. Well, we've been doing that for 50 years. Well, okay. All right, football team, raise your ticket prices $10 a seat. Raise all the concessions. Raise this, raise that, because now we got to cover a couple of other sports that bring in no money. We've got to cover sports that lose money. But we have to because we have to. And therein lies the problem. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We got the chat wide open for you today. This just in. Multiple sources have confirmed that former Denver Nuggets star Ty Lawson was arrested on shoplifting charges in Castle Rock, Colorado. Lawson allegedly stole a bottle of Tito's vodka from a local liquor store, began drinking it, and walked into a nearby restaurant where he was later detained by police.
You mean you can't do that? You can't just...
Nope, not even in Colorado, where they let you do pretty much anything you want to do.
What if you're
can't
famous?
Do that?
What if you're a famous football player?
Can't do it. You can't just go steal a bottle of vodka, open it up, and walk into a restaurant without paying. Ty Lawson, not too smart. We'll take a break. 10 minutes till the top of the hour. It's the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN.
Hello, my name is Venna Twineham. I'm Carnation Queen, contestant number 7, sponsored by Avon by Gracie. As we celebrate this year's Carnation Festival, I am inviting all area golfers to take part in the 30th annual Carnation Golf Scramble on Friday, July 31st at Tannenhof Golf Club, sponsored by the YWCA. We will hit the green at 9 a.m. for a great day of golf on the beautiful course.
Eric Cargill's family has worked the same land for 5 generations.
If a farmer or rancher gets sick, that's downtime in harvest or planting. Animals don't care if you get sick. You know, I have type 1 diabetes. What if my blood sugar crashes and I'm out in the middle, I'm 30 miles from anywhere?
That changed when nurse practitioner John Hodges opened Rawls Family Medicine.
If our clinic were not here, some of our patients would have to drive up to 90 miles to see a healthcare provider.
Healthcare is not a privilege, it's a right for everyone.
I just want to help as many people in the community as I can.
John Hodges keeps us going, all of us, and that's kept our farm and ranch alive, and hopefully into 6 and 7 generations.
How has a nurse impacted your life? Share your story at thepowerofnurses.org.
Where does your generosity to mercy ships go? To a small village in Sierra Leone, to the eyes of a mother, to an operating room, the healing, the anxious wait, until finally, a beautiful smile. To a port in Madagascar, into the hands of a surgeon, to the eyes of the MRI technician, the scalpel, the monitor, the post-op, and finally, a mirror. A tumor removed, replaced by tears of joy. To a small fishing village in Africa, to the hopes of a boy, to his dreams of playing soccer, to the hands of a surgeon, the long recovery, until one day, the joy of finally being part of the team. Where does your generosity go? Wherever mercy does.
Got about 6-7 minutes before we get you to the top of the hour. News and weather coming up. Clint Marshall working hard back there in the WDPN newsroom. Mark Johnson, our staff meteorologist. What a day. How about tomorrow, the next day? What a beautiful week. Well, we got that rain in here the other day. Got it out of here.
That rain was a godsend.
Swept the humidity right off of the plank. And we are just... We are living in good weather times right now, let me tell you. Guardians coming up tonight against the Twins. Game 3 of that 4-game series at 6:40. Slade Ciccone on the mound tonight for Cleveland. Ooh. Jose Ramirez back in the lineup for the Guardians. He'll bat second tonight up at Progressive Field.
So I figured that was a good time to check the 10-day forecast. Sunday's going to be 106 degrees.
No, it's not.
Yes, that's... Oh, wait. No, wait. Hold on. Let me double check. I didn't double check. Sorry.
That's not... No way.
I didn't double check. I've been checking every time this week. It always resets. Never mind. False alarm. It is going to be 82 on Sunday.
Well, that's a hell of a lot better than 100 and whatever you were saying.
Alliance, Nebraska is in for some serious weather on Sunday, let me tell you.
Yeah, they can have it. Sam Bourquin Show poll question of the day. If you missed it, we've had some in and out conversations with us today. Pretty good stuff. My question to you today is, present day 2026, what is your overall opinion of the Stark County football scene? Like, how do you feel about it from top to bottom? From School 1 all the way down to School 20? From the Federal League to the EBC to the Pac-7 to the Independents. How do you feel about Stark County football as it is today? Still the best of the best? Still up there in the upper echelon? Have we dropped a little bit? Have we stayed stagnant? Have other areas in the state passed us by with their play, their competitiveness? 2026, Stark County High School football. Where do you see it today? What is your opinion on it? How do you feel about it? Do we have some room to grow? Has there been a little regression? Are we still on top of the game? How do we match up with other areas in the state of Ohio? 330-821-1310 to get your comments in as well on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Bill says, I love high school football. I follow the Federal League and Central Catholic. It's exciting because they are not predictable. Pro ball, you almost know if they're going to pass or run. High school, college, exciting from the snap of the ball. Robin checks in. People are bashing Massillon, but they're just competing with the name programs. Hoban, Eds, Iggy, Moeller, etc. I have no problem there. I think overall Stark County is still ahead. Just look at the pure size of the youth programs in the area. Debbie Lawrence says, I love the Tigers. There's nothing like it. Carlos says, due to the continuous transfers in the program, they've built over the last 8 years, I would have to say Massillon on paper is head and shoulders above everybody else. Just my opinion. Ray says, Sam, not good. All the schools in Stark County use their own kids but 2, and then you play them in the playoffs. It's high school kids playing a team with 9 or 10 Division I recruits, and they should be Division I. Don't like it. Mike checking in. The MAC, Columbus and Cincinnati are more competitive than ever in high school football. Yeah, Cincinnati area is very competitive. They always have been. Have they passed us up here a little bit, maybe? Columbus is getting better, especially with the Dublin schools and the Olentangy schools. The MAC, I think, speaks for itself with Maria Stein, Marion Local, and in that group. I don't think you can't argue that. Mikey says Stark County football is alive and well. Probably needs a little energy. Overall, still very good. Joel says Stark County football is certainly ahead of most in the state of Ohio. 330-821-1310, 330-821-1310. I think we could use a little boost. I think from top to bottom, I think Stark County football is very, very good. I think it's been very, very good for decades. Long before I was born. But I've noticed that other parts of the state, other leagues, other schools, I think they're kind of catching up. They're kind of chipping away a little bit. And I don't want to see us, get behind or anything any further. I don't know how you fix that. I don't. I just think that some of the schools probably you just got to find a way to keep the kids you have and maybe figure out a way to get some kids that you normally wouldn't get. Work harder, get better. That kind of thing. And I think we could get back on track. Now, if you just go by state championships, we got some work to do. Right? We got some work to do. We'll take a break. Top of the hour, news and weather coming your way. 2 hours in, one more big hour to go here on the Sam Bourquin Show. Keep it locked. 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Escalating hostilities between the U.S. and Iran lead into maritime traffic blockades, oil and gas prices going up in the U.S. and European countries also feeling the squeeze. ABC's Patrick Reevell with more.
The Strait of Hormuz remains effectively closed right now as Iran continues to target there. Also, the alternative route in the Red Sea is also now under threat since the Iran's allies, the Houthis, declared a blockade on Saudi Arabian ports there. And so we have seen gas and oil prices continue to rise here in Europe now. Liquefied natural gas prices are reaching the levels that they were at during some of the worst points of the war before the ceasefire agreement.
Tropical storm Bertha making landfall in Louisiana today. That storm losing strength, but still packing a punch for possible flooding. And a state of emergency in West Virginia due to widespread flooding from yesterday's rains. This is ABC News.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02 News and Service of Bonfort Glass. More people are looking for work in Northeast Ohio. Stark County's June jobless rate increased to 3.7%, up from 3% in May, but below 5.1% in June 2025. Mahoning County reported the highest rate in the area at 4.6%, while Carroll and Columbiana counties rose to 3.9% and 4% respectively. Portage County's rate climbed 3.7%. Ohio's overall unemployment rate dipped to 3.6%. An East Canton woman indicted by a Stark County grand jury after an infant died while attending an unlicensed in-home daycare. 45-year-old Melanie DiMarzio was booked into the county jail Tuesday on a charge of involuntary manslaughter. 8-month-old Grant Simmons became unresponsive March 10th while in her care. DiMarzio accused of operating a daycare that lacked proper safety measures, including safe sleeping arrangements, baby monitors, and CPR training. The judge ordered the daycare closed shortly after the child's death. A highway patrol investigating a single-vehicle crash in Carroll County that killed a 16-year-old passenger and seriously injured the driver. Troopers say 18-year-old Gage Craig of Bowerston was driving an SUV Tuesday morning on County Road 52 in Orange Township. When the vehicle left the roadway, hit a ditch, went airborne, and crashed into an embankment. Craig was taken to Mercy Hospital. The passenger from Carrollton was pronounced dead at the scene. Their name has not been released. Neither occupant was wearing a seatbelt. Body of a missing man has been found in the Mahoning County Sheriff's Office, Berlin Fire Department, and Ohio Department of Natural Resources. We're searching for Sean Miller of North Olmsted, who was last seen early Monday at the Berlin campgrounds on Bedell Road. WFMJ-TV reports Miller's body was found Tuesday morning at the boat dock. There was no word on a cause of death. Boats and drones were used in the search. Alliance police say a man pointed a gun at a family member and pulled the trigger. 65-year-old Anthony Nelson of Alliance was arrested Monday on South Liberty Avenue and is charged with felonious assault with a weapon and discharging a firearm. He's set to appear for arraignment today in municipal court. Nelson accused of demanding $500 before leaving the home and returning with a handgun. Police say the victim reported Nelson pointed the gun at him and pulled the trigger, but it failed to fire. The shot was later heard outside the home. Nelson was apprehended and booked into the Stark County Jail. Canton officials say adding more residents downtown could help boost businesses and revitalize the area. The city studying the possibility of developing a 15-acre site north of the Sarda downtown bus station for future housing. The repository reports leaders are looking to hire a consulting firm to analyze what types of residential development the area can support. Officials say the project could help address the housing shortage, increase foot traffic, and keep downtown active after business hours. Road improvements moving forward in Washington Township. Trustees approved funding Monday for a joint project with the City of Alliance. The board approved $15,000 for an Ohio Public Works Commission grant to pave the township's portion of Linwood Avenue. The road department reported repairs to a washout on Churchill Avenue, a water leak on Denver Avenue, and a catch basin on Lawford Street. A Columbiana County judge has ruled a Salem man accused of sex crimes involving children is competent to stand trial. 58-year-old Mark Knight was found competent during a court hearing Monday. His attorney has since requested a sanity evaluation after filing a plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. Knight and 40-year-old Jan McHenry are charged with rape, sexual battery, and gross sexual imposition, allegedly involving 2 children over several years, both being held on $100,000 bonds. The Columbiana County Park District Board will hold an emergency meeting Thursday to fill a staff position. Board members will meet at 5:30 at the district offices in Lisbon to hire a new administrative assistant. Meeting follows the resignation of Mark Guy, who stepped down last Friday after being hired in February. Crews cleaning up after a tornado moved through parts of the Mahoning Valley Tuesday night. The National Weather Service confirmed the tornado after it traveled from Youngstown's north side into Trumbull County around 6:40, with damage reported in the city's east side and areas near Hubbard. The storm brought down power lines, flipped a tractor near McGuffey Road, and left more than 2,400 First Energy customers without power. Weather Service will survey damage today. No serious injuries were reported. $500,000 bond set for a man accused in a deadly shooting in Youngstown. 22-year-old Davion Alexander made his first appearance in Mahoning County Court Tuesday and pleaded not guilty to murder. Police allege Alexander fatally shot Kimani Johnson on the city's south side June 30th. Johnson was found with a gunshot wound to the head. Alexander was arrested with a handgun nearby. Ohio's largest law enforcement union endorsed Republican Senator John Husted for re-election Tuesday. The Fraternal Order of Police of Ohio, along with 4 other labor organizations, switched their support to Husted. While the Ohio FOP endorsed former Senator Sherrod Brown in 2012, he repeatedly opposed stronger border security measures, according to the press release, and alienated Ohio's law enforcement community. Ohio FOP President Jay McDonald noted the endorsement is for candidates who have supported law enforcement and fought back on the war on police. 69 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News, a service of Bonford Glass. I'm Clint Marshall.
When man's best friend chases the family cat through the window screen, you need a rapid repair from Bonford Glass. In warmer weather, accidents can happen. When a hole in your window or door screen is keeping you from enjoying the fresh air, take that torn screen to Bonford's for a speedy, expert repair. You think of Bonford's for glass repair, but don't forget, they can take care of just about any problem you may have with a window or door, including screens. If your screens are old, worn, corroded, or torn, bring them into Bonford Glass and Alliance. Replace those shabby old screens with new aluminum or fiberglass ones that will wear better and last longer. Bonford's experts give you the quality you can depend on and service that's unsurpassed. So even if your best pal chased the cat through the window screen, just take it to Bonford's for a rapid repair. For all your glass and window needs, rely on Bonford Glass, 30 South Union Avenue in Alliance.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
Little sunshine mixing with clouds for your Wednesday afternoon. Dry and fall-like. Yeah, a little cool. 70 degrees for the high. Clear and starry overnight. Again, staying dry. Maybe grab a sweater. Our low 53. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Juan with a high drive, deep right center field. This is trouble. This ball is going to hit the track. Bang up against the wall. In to score the tying run is Hedges. And it's swung on. Line drive, base hit to right near the line. Juan hits third. He's being waved home. Keishel will throw to second. Cleveland with a 2-1 lead. Oh, a little half swing. A little cricket swing.
Like that?
Drops it in. Around third, heading for home. Manzardo scores. And the 1-2 from Keith. Right field. Back is Khalil Watson into the corner. Book it. Oh, what a play by Khalil Watson. Are you kidding me? What a way to end it.
3-2. Fly ball, deep left field. Did Hunter get it off? You bet he did. 31st home run puts the Rockies up in the bottom of the 8th.
Sought off to third, and it got him hung up. Crawford's hung up. Crawford is out. Throw to second. That is the game. That is the ball game. What a way to finish it. Chaos on the bases and a 2-1 Dodger win.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Good baseball last night all the way around. Good night for the Guards as they took care of the Twins to go to 54-48 on the season. Game 3 tonight of that series coming up. It's 6:40, Progressive Field, downtown Cleveland. Slade Ciccone on the bump tonight for the Guardians. And don't forget tomorrow, afternoon baseball. Afternoon tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon, we'll recap last night's game a little bit, not much, and then we'll recap what happens tomorrow afternoon. Let's see. Twins Guardians tomorrow, 1:10 first pitch. Bradley and Williams, the pitching matchup at Progressive Field. Now, the big story in Major League Baseball continues to be the Boston Red Sox. They won again today. Excuse me. That is 15 wins in a row. Red Sox took out the Orioles this afternoon at Fenway Park by the score of 6-3. That was the makeup of the game they didn't get in last night because of the rain. They will come back tonight. They will play game 2 at 7:10 in Boston. They win tonight. That'll be 16 wins in a row. The Red Sox are on fire. They got 4 runs right away today. Like they put this one out of reach in the first inning. 4-0. Jake Bennett the win. Aroldis Chapman got another save today. That's his 23rd. You can't get a ticket to Fenway Park right now. Can't get a ticket. 35,039. Standing room only today for a makeup game. A makeup game. You couldn't get a ticket. They'll be packed again tonight. Whew, they are on fire. Red Sox are on fire. Nationals lead the Rockies 1-0 in the 7th. In the 5th, D-backs lead the A's 4-2. Mariners 3, Reds 2 in the 5th. Top of the 5th, Cardinals and Angels, no score. Anybody else play today? Yes, Pirates beat the Yankees in 10. 5-3. Same 2 teams will play again tonight in the Bronx. That'll be game 2 of that day-night doubleheader. All right. Some cool news today. We've been talking a little high school football today. Our poll question of the day, where do you stand? Where do you sit? What is your opinion on Stark County football as we sit here today? 2026, how do you view Stark County football? Is it still the king? Are we stagnant? Are we regressing a little bit? How do we match up with other schools, other conferences in the state of Ohio? The play, the results. Where do you sit? How do you feel about Stark County football as of today? A lot of great comments continue to come in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. You can text the show. You can call the show at 330-821-1310. I'm going to go into some of the comments here in a minute. I want you to give me yours as well. I mean, think it through. Think about it for a couple of minutes. Think about where Stark County high school football has been. Think about how it's been the last 5 or 10 years, and maybe the direction that you think it's going. And how does it stack up to Cuyahoga County? How does it stack up to the Cincinnati area, the Columbus area, the Toledo area, the Youngstown area? How do we stack up nowadays as in comparison maybe to where we used to? So I want you to think that through, and we'll have a little discussion. If you're just new to the show today, or if you're new to the program today, maybe you couldn't be with us 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you've just jumped in. That's kind of what we've been having a little discussion today. Great comments continue to come in on all of our social media platforms. We'll get to some of those here in a minute. But some pretty cool news today. Pretty cool news, news from Massillon today. They have announced that there will be free admission to all high school football games, for all their high school students. All they got to do is just show their ID and you're in. I think that's awesome.
I think that should be the standard.
That should be like that everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're taking money away. Figure out another way to get it. The kids should never have to pay to go support their own school's athletic teams. I've been saying that for years. And Maslin has stepped up, and all the students need is just show your ID, and you can go to the games for free. I think that's awesome. I'd love to see some other teams do that. And I'll bet you some other teams follow the lead, and they will do that. Maybe not this year, but I think you'll see it. I don't think kids should pay to get into any school event. Your students in your school, under your roof, should never have to pay to go watch a football game, a basketball game. They should never have to go pay for a swim meet. They should never have to pay for a baseball game. They shouldn't have to pay for a wrestling match. They shouldn't have to pay for anything. They should never have to pay to buy a ticket to get in to support their kids, to support their friends. Am I crazy there? I don't think so.
Nah. No, that sounds about right.
I don't know if it's that way in other parts of the state. And then I know tournaments are different. Playoffs are different because now you have to answer to the OHSAA. And I don't, that's probably a slippery slope I don't want to go down right now. But congratulations to Maslin for making it possible for anybody in the high school to attend the Tiger football games for free. I think that's awesome. Just kids, make sure you have your ID. Don't show up at the stadium and, no, bring your ID and you'll get in. Okay? I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that makes sense for any regular season game.
Yeah, I guess playoffs and tournaments are different.
Yeah,
again, because that's you're answering to another.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different beast, but
yeah,
nah.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and shout out to the Tigers for doing that. That's really awesome. So where's Stark County now? How are we feeling about Stark County football the year 2026? Where we've been, where we've come, where we're going, where we're at. How do you feel about it? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on social media.
Got one I want to get in from Scooter from the last hour. He says, excluding Maslin from the conversation, I've been following the Federal League for over 50 years. Most years, teams are very competitive, and through the 90s and 2000s, it's been mostly McKinley, Lake, Hoover, Perry, Jackson, and more recently, and the same with Green. Glen Oak has struggled in recent years, and Perry was a couple very good classes coming, and Perry has a couple good classes coming that should be better. It's nice when most of the Fed teams are good because it makes for some great Friday nights.
Scooter, thanks for thanks for jumping in.
50 man's got 50 years of experience. I had to get his comment in.
Ernie says, I think Stark County football is still the top, but I can see other schools, other areas, other counties gaining ground. I would agree with that. And then I said something before the end of the 4 o'clock hour, I think. And I said, you got to break it down, look at the counties, look at Stark, look at Summit, look at Cuyahoga, look at the area around Cincinnati, over in Trumbull County, Mahoning County, down in the Montgomery County, Cincinnati, Franklin County, Columbus, the MAC conference that's got Marion Local and Minster and all those powerhouses out there. And look how we've stacked up over the years, over the decades. Look at our leagues top to bottom. And there's been a lot of changes, obviously, teams coming and going, getting out of leagues, leaving leagues, forming new leagues, jumping into other leagues that have already been around. Every school district, every county goes through coaching changes over the years. Coaches retire, they move on to different jobs. Some get let go, they end up going somewhere else and having success. But we've always kind of pumped our chest. We've always kind of said, hey, here we are. This is what we are. This is what we do. In the year 2026, how do you think Stark County football stands up to everybody else in Ohio? And the one thing that I did kind of squeeze in there at the very end, over the decades, and I'm 57, so I'll go the last 5 decades. How many state championships has Stark County won lately? Look around the state of Ohio. Outside of the one Massillon won against Hoban, and that would have been, correct me if I'm wrong out there, Tiger fans, 23? Is that the last? Was that the one? Was it 23 or was it 24? 25, 26. I think it was 23. Again, somebody will correct me, and I welcome your correction. I'm doing this off the top of my head because I want to get this point across. So Massillon wins the state title a couple of years ago. When was the last one before that? When was the last one before that? Canton Central Catholic, 2016. What was the last one before that? Got to go back to Camp McKinley. Do you realize, as wild as this sounds, of all the county schools, and I say there's 20, Sandy Valley, not really in Stark County, kind of Carroll County. Greene is right there on the cusp, Summit and Stark, but we use 20 just because it's a nice round number. Over all these years, all these decades, all the great history, all the great teams and the great coaches, how many Stark County schools have won a state championship in football? How many? Massillon? McKinley? Central Catholic? St. Thomas. That's it. That's it. 4. Now, does that say anything? Does it not say anything? That's up for you to decide. But when we talk about greatness, and we talk about there's nothing like it anywhere else, we do it better than anybody. We've got 16 teams that have never won a state title. And there are other leagues, other teams around the state of Ohio. It's kind of spreading around, kind of spreading their wings a little bit, that are winning state championships. I'm not saying that's the end-all, be-all, but that's the goal, right? Isn't that the goal? Or in some places, maybe that's not the goal. And that's why it's tough to get there. I mean, that's wild to me if you think about it. How long have you been following high school football in Stark County? I've been, like I said, I'm 57. I started to follow it. I was brought in probably before I was 10. And even though I was a whippersnapper, I paid close attention. I did. And I thought, oh my God, all these teams, these schools, this is awesome. And we were always accustomed to what? A lot of our teams getting in the postseason. And then as the years went by, instead of only 2 getting in or 4 getting in or 8 getting in or 12 getting in or 16, we always thought, hey, we got enough teams in there. Somebody's going to win one. Somebody's got to get it. This is going to be their year. 4 schools. 4. In the history have state championships in high school football in Stark County. 4 schools. Does that mean anything to you? Does that make Stark County lesser on the big stage? Or does that not matter? It's about the Friday night fun. It's about the local rivalries. It's about packing the stadiums. It's about ribbing your neighbors. It's about ribbing your rivals. What is it for you nowadays? And I bet things have changed. I bet maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago, some of you, it was state championship or bust. Now it's like, I just want to have fun. I just want to go watch high school football. I want to root the kids on. There's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of things going on in life that are a lot more important than winning a state title. Where do you kind of fit there? Where do you sit there? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel.
I think the thing with Stark County football is it's still wholesome. That makes sense. It doesn't feel so commercialized like even college does anymore. Stark County football still, like high school football, still feels very pure most of the time.
Most of the time.
I think for me, that's kind of what I still enjoy about it.
We still say, you still hear a lot of people say, I hear a lot of people say all the time, Sam, Stark County football, high school football in general is still its purest form. Because we talk about the NFL and all the money people are making and all the stuff that goes on, the commercialization of it, the hot dogging, all the crap that goes on. And now college football, it's the wild, wild west. Money rules. Get the Jimmies and the Joes, but you got to hand them cash. Getting more commercialized. But high school football is still in its purest form. It's fun. It's still like, it's still got that little bit of innocence about it. And I think that's why we love it as much as we do, right? There's something about it. And hopefully that'll stay forever. All right. On this day in sports history, 1926, at Mitchell Field in New York, Babe Ruth caught a ball that had been dropped from an airplane flying at 250 feet above. 2002, lawyers for former NFL Ray Caruth of the Panthers filed an appeal on his murder conspiracy conviction. 2005, the NHL Board of Governors voted 30-0 to pass the cap-based collective bargaining agreement that the Players Association had approved the previous day. The deal ended. You remember this? A 310-day lockout. It wiped out the entire 2004-2005 NHL season. And on this day in sports history, our audio today, boy, you don't see this very often. Cleveland Indians pitcher Charles Nagy, because of a screw-up on the lineup card prior to the game, had the bat. He had to actually go to the plate and bat. Here's what it sounded like.
Originally, Mike Hargrove had him hitting fourth as the DH. He had Alex Ramirez playing right and batting seventh. Manny said, no, I want to play right. He ran into right. He ran out into right, the bottom of the first. And guess what? They made Nagy bat seventh. They got rid of Alex Ramirez, and Manny stayed in right field batting.
Ramirez was supposed to be the DH. Alex Ramirez was set to play right, but Manny went out, eliminating the DH spot. The problem that you have is Nagy hits left-handed trying to face David Wells, and David Wells just struck out Jim Thome on a nasty sidearm breaking ball, and I don't think Nagy has a chance to even foul the ball if David Wells does that to him. Well, that was over the top, and he did lay the bat on it. The fans cheer. I don't know if they're cheering the fact that Nagy fouled it or the fan made a great catch. I think they're cheering Nagy. You know, we just had a note that Charles Nagy's the only Indian pitcher to bat in an American League game since since the DH began, since Jim Kern did in 1978. You know who the dumb manager was here in 78?
I think he's here tonight.
Yours truly, yes.
Here's the 0-2. Nagy gets a piece of another pitch from Wells and fouls it off down the left field line.
Nagy going up against Boomer. David Wells. Remember, Nagy's left-handed batting. Wells is coming in there with the left hand. He was able to foul a couple of pitches off, and that's pretty cool story on this day in sports history. News and weather coming up next.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. President Trump attended the dignified transfer of 4 service members recently killed in the Middle East on his way to Dover Air Force Base in Delaware today. Trump called it one of the hardest things to do as a president. An administration official says 2 Army soldiers killed in Iranian missile and drone attacks in Jordan will be returned during the transfer, as well as a 3rd service member believed to be the soldier missing after the Jordan attacks. The remains of another soldier killed in Iraq during a detonation of an Iranian drone will also be returned. President Trump Monday imposed a 50% duty on a variety of Canadian goods. The White House imposed the duties through Section 228 of the Tariff Act of 1930. The tariffs apply to all covered goods, regardless of whether it originates under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. Tariffs will not apply to energy, potash, products subject to tariffs under Section 232, and certain other goods such as fish or critical minerals. They take effect 30 days after signing. And the proclamation emphasizes tariffs are in response to discrimination via a Canadian tariff scheme against American motor vehicles and auto parts. The president said last week he would impose tariffs on Canada to compensate for costs from Canadian wildfire smoke that blanketed the United States. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. announced Tuesday the deferring of more than $1 billion in Medicaid payments to California and Minnesota. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services holding back roughly $867.5 million from California, $199 million from Minnesota. Money's being deferred. Both states can recover it by documenting the claims meet federal Medicaid requirements. The health secretary added the administration used artificial intelligence and advanced analytics to identify the suspicious spending. The department said its review flagged in-home care programs in California where spending growth far exceeded national trends, along with claims in 14 high-risk service areas in Minnesota tied to providers previously flagged through program integrity reviews. A Ukrainian migrant truck driver convicted of killing 2 Americans in a crash had been given humanitarian parole to live in the U.S. by the Biden administration's Department of Homeland Security. Last May 6th, Andrei Dimcherko was driving a semi-truck when he failed to stop at a red light and crashed into multiple cars. Dimcherko pleaded guilty to negligent homicide after the case stalled last year when Alabama prosecutors struggled to find a translator. Dimcherko will serve just 2 years in prison. Prosecutors said he was distracted on his phone when he hit the vehicles. ICE officials revealed the man was among hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian nationals awarded parole by the Biden administration in 2024, at the start of the war with Russia. He applied for a work visa, allowing him to begin driving trucks despite not speaking English. 74 years after a Pan Am flight crashed into the water off Puerto Rico, killing 52 people, an aviation search team has found the wreckage on the ocean floor. The Air Sea Heritage Foundation, in partnership with others, including the Discovery Channel, found the wreckage of the Clipper Endeavor last month. The Douglas DC-4 came to rest after crashing shortly after it took off April 11th, 1952, with 64 passengers and 5 crew. All passengers survived the impact, but only 17 would be rescued. The rest lost with the sinking plane. The aircraft had life rafts and personal flotation devices for all aboard, but confusion ensued because no safety briefing was given. There was a language barrier and no coordinated evacuation procedure. 69 degrees at 5:33. For WDPN News, I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Afternoon highs today struggling up to near 70 degrees, a definite fall-like feel in the air, a little sunshine mixing with clouds all afternoon long. Overnight, clear and starry, refreshingly cool, our low in the lower 50s. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
All right, 1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, 37 minutes past the hour. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be with you 3 until 6 right here. Phil Steele. Yeah, Phil Steele is going to join us tomorrow. We're going to talk college football tomorrow afternoon. He's got his latest college football preview magazine out. It is the Sports Bible. If you're a college football fan, the great Phil Steele joining us tomorrow afternoon here on 1310 WDPN. I think Phil's going to be with us at 3:35 tomorrow. Pretty sure that's what we're going to do. I got to get caught up with the chats here. Sam, do you think the Federal League should break up?
I think he means, I was thinking he maybe means that the Federal League should break up into 2 leagues, but that's all I can figure out.
Sam, do you think the Federal League should break up with 2 league? I don't know how they would do that because they only have 7 teams to begin with.
That's why I was also confused by it. I thought so. I didn't think that was a thing.
The perfect number for a league, in my opinion, is 8. I think if you got 8 schools, that's perfect. That leaves you with 3 non-conference games, and then you play everybody in your conference. That gets you to 10. I think that's perfect. Raul, Sam, Ryan Clark heard screaming in the bathroom incoherently at Caitlin Clark poster. Raul. Christian, couple of good ones here. He says the last 10 years, 2 championships for Stark County, 3 for Mahoning County. This is football we're talking about. Last 10 years, Mercer County has 11 state titles. 11 in the last 10 years. Now, obviously, those are repeats from a lot of the same schools, but nevertheless, Mercer County can say, hey, don't forget about us when you're talking about the greats of the great as far as counties are concerned in high school football. Look at us. Look at our trophy cases. They got a point. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. How are we feeling about Stark County football right now? 2026. What's good? What's great? What needs a little interjection of electricity? Are we on the uptick? Are we on the downtick? Are we stagnant? What could we do to maybe shake things up a little bit? Add a little fervor, maybe add a little excitement? I mean, it's no secret. Massillon has been the top team in the area for quite a while. Constantly on the doorstep of playing for a state title. They won a state championship a couple of years ago against Hopen. They've been to the state championship game and have lost a couple of times. They make deep playoff runs almost every year. It's like been Massillon or the field. Like we have some teams that have some good regular seasons and they win a playoff game or 2, and then that's it. I wish we could get some of our other teams to go a lot deeper in the postseason. That, I think, would overall help everything. I think that would pique the interest. I think that would get more interest in the county as a whole for football. I mean, the longer you go, the more games you play, the more eyes are on you, more people talking about it, whether it's radio, whether it's a podcast, whether it's social media. That's how you get things cooking. You know what they say, winning solves everything. But I think here lately, look, I know West Branch has made some nice runs the last couple of years. Hoover had a nice run a couple of years ago until Maslin stopped him. McKinley's won a couple of rounds in the playoffs, but just can't seem to get over that hump. I'd like to see our teams, and I put this under the Stark County umbrella, and maybe I'll put Maslin to the side because they're handling their business. I'd like to see some other schools, some other teams kick it up a notch. Whether it's in scheduling, non-conference opponents, trying to just, you know what I mean? Just get better. I know everybody's working hard. I know they're working hard. I know our coaches are working hard. The kids are working hard. Football is, it's 365 pretty much. You got your season, you got your camps not your camps, you get ready for the season. And it usually starts about August 1st, maybe very late July. 2-a-days, 1-a-days, whatever they do now. Scrimmages, games. So you're talking the very last week of July. And at the very least, if you don't even get to the playoffs, you're playing through the end of pretty much the end of October. If you make the playoffs and you make a run, you could be playing through the month of November. Or you could be playing in the first week of December. That's a long year. And then guess what? A couple of days later, you're in the weight room. You're getting up at 6 a.m. in the dead of winter. You're going to school to lift weights. You're running. You're swimming. You're working on all kind of stuff to get better. It's a 365. Some kids will go and play other sports. They'll get you ready for hoops or baseball or volleyball or hockey or wrestling or soccer, lacrosse, whatever's going on. But then the kids that are just kind of zoned in and locked in on football, you're going to be hitting the weight room. You're going to be running. You're going to be doing stuff to get yourself better. And it never stops. Summertime, I can't tell you how many times when I would be over at Dogwood Pool, laying in the sun, sitting around in the pool. I'd look behind me, that big fence over there on the service road that goes back into the high school. Kids would be out there 80, 90, 95 degrees, running routes, playing catch, running around the track, trying to get better. It's a thing. It's a yearly thing. And I know everybody's working as hard as they can. Which, one, shows you how hard it is to win a state title. It's hard to get to a state title. But again, we've only had 4 teams ever in the history. 4. To win a state title in football. McKinley, Maslin, Central Catholic, St. Thomas. It's not easy. But I guess it all depends on, how much do you want it? There are years when you look at your roster and go, geez, we had 20 more kids a year ago. What happened? Enrollment goes down. Families move away. There's years you look at your non-conference schedule and say, oh, man, we should be able to, we should be able to get all these, get us ready for the league. All of a sudden, you're 1 and 2 going, what the heck happened? Well, those other schools just had a big jump in talent, or maybe they had a lot of seniors, or they, maybe they thought this was going to be their year. And you're like, well, geez, we're 1 and 2 already. What are we doing? It's hard to win. It's hard to stay on top. Got to work at it. I just want us to stay. I want us to stay up. I want us to stay in the limelight. I want Stark County football to always be what I thought it has been. Not only football in the purest form, but great for the community, a rallying place for the kids to go on a Friday or Saturday. I mentioned the ribbing of your rivals over the year. Seeing great talent, watching great coaching in fantastic venues. We got some of the best venues in the state of Ohio. We got some great venues, some great places to go watch high school football. And there are some that could use some work, let's be honest. But they're working at it. I think just about everybody now has turf. I think a lot of schools have, fixed their seating issues, upgraded their seating, upgraded different parts of the stadium. That's always the thing in progress that you got to keep doing. Got to keep up, right? Got to keep up with the Jimmies and the Joes. I just kind of want us to get back up there a little bit. Have Stark County do some of the ass kicking on the football field here coming up. That's what I want to see. I know we can get back there. I know we can do it. And Mercer County, man, taking over. Montgomery County. Mahoning Trumbull County, Cuyahoga County. I think we got a little work to do, and I think, you know what? I think there would be some that would agree with me.
I'm curious myself to see what Massillon's state championship win in basketball last year kind of does to Stark County's sports, as it were. I'm imagining we're going to see a bit of an uptick in interest in basketball when that comes around. I know we're talking about football, but that's been on my mind ever since Massillon won. I'm wondering if that's going to kind of divert some of the attention away from football when they're all playing at the same time.
I would think that Massillon's state championship basketball should be very healthy for all of the county.
Yes.
The fact that, hey, we just won a basketball state championship at a football school. I think that helps. And I think it'll not only help the basketball programs, but the football programs, any sports program. Hey, we can do this too. We can do it too. We just did it. we did it.
Yeah, I think that's going to bring a lot of eyeballs towards Stark County in general.
I think so too. So I hope it does.
I'm curious to see what the landscape looks like going into the next season this year with stuff like that.
Yeah, I hope that it does. Anytime I think, and look, when Louisville won the state championship in basketball a couple of years ago, Perry went to the state championship. It brought some interest back to the Stark County hardwood that maybe had been lacking a little bit. We kind of go through these ebbs and flows. What do they say? Everything in life is cyclical. But you got a couple of teams that go for a state title. In the last 3 teams we've had go, 2 out of 3 won. Central Catholic girls went to the state championship a year ago. They didn't win it, but they got there. They got there. Great publicity. Great everything for everybody. A lot of pride. A lot of pride comes back into the area when you have a school that makes a run like that. That does nothing but help. Look at our baseball programs here the last couple of years. Hoover, close. Lake Center Christian wins the whole thing. We've had some teams that made some runs. We've had some teams Louisville goes to the state championship in softball. Didn't win it, but they got there. The community loved it. Stark County got behind them. That helps. Trust me, it helps. It helps not just with that particular sport, but with all the sports under the umbrella of athletics. It may not seem like it, but it helps. 7 minutes till the top of the hour. 330-821-1310. Your comments on all of our social media platforms. By the way, high school football returns on Thursday night, August the 20th on Q92, 92.5 FM. The following night, it returns on AM 1310 WDPN and Q92. We are less than a month away from the start of high school football. We can't wait, and I know you can't wait either. But it's coming. We'll take a break. 1310 WDPN.
Hello, my name is Menna Twineham, and I am contestant number 7. If you are an amateur photographer, why not enter this year's Carnation Photo Contest? For information, please contact the sponsor Cockrell Studio. Photo contest winners will all be on display Wednesday, July 9th through Friday, July 30th at the Giant Eagle Plaza.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Stargardt disease was supposed to define me. Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. A blinding eye disease attempted to force me away from doing what I was born to do.
But it cannot stop me. I have the tools.
I will keep moving forward.
Pushing past the limits of this disability.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Great vision doesn't require great sight. Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Make your impact today. Donate now at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
$1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We got about 4 minutes before we bid you adieu for this Wednesday. Don't forget, tomorrow, join us at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. Phil Steele will break down the college football season for us. We'll have our 3-question Thursday quiz. We'll recap the Guardians and the Twins and more coming up tomorrow at 3 right here on 1310 WDPN and all of our social media platforms. Love when you interact with us each and every day on the show. We were talking a little high school football, a little high school basketball. Again, if you missed it earlier, Jamar Keys, the outstanding basketball player for Canton McKinley, he is transferred to a Hillcrest prep school in Arizona. So the Bulldogs will be without Jamar Keys this coming season. Maslin has announced that free admission to all of their football games for all of their high school students. Pretty cool. They just have to show an ID and they can get in. Love that. Did you see this? Where the Miami Heat posted a link to a scheduled live stream entitled LeBron James Introductory Press Conference, followed by the date of July 27th to its YouTube channel. It really happened. Team spokesman said it was a mistake. Spokesman told Sham Sharania from ESPN on Tuesday that the club's social media department was preparing for the possibility of James signing and mistakenly posted the link to the team's YouTube page. The post was later deleted. Read anything into that? Does that worry you? Anything to that?
I imagine.
Or is that just the intern or an employee mistake and oops, they hit the button and shouldn't have?
I think that was one of those employee mistakes where it was kind of like, oops, because they were trying to, I'm imagining they have a bet on the Cavs to win, so they wanted to shift those numbers a little bit.
Boy.
But I can put on the X-Files music if you want.
I understand the Heat is now looking for another person in that department. So
I wonder why.
Take that for what it's worth.
That's all I need to hear.
No, nothing from LeBron today. It's only 6 o'clock. Only 3 o'clock out west. And we'll see. I don't expect anything to happen tonight.
Is he out west or isn't he like?
We don't know where he
hanging
is
around?
now. We don't know where he is now.
Oh yeah,
he's been everywhere.
He's an enigma.
He's been in Akron, Cleveland, California, out of the country. He's been everywhere. But haven't seen him lately, have we? There's been no Instagram post. We haven't seen him. Haven't heard from him. Maybe we're getting close.
I think last I heard wasn't he just driving around Akron?
That was a while ago.
That was a while ago?
That was a while ago.
Geez, this whole LeBron thing.
So, yeah.
Just keeps running.
So tomorrow is the 23rd?
Yes. Almost August, people.
We need a decision here at some point, don't we? All right, there you hear the music in the background. Uncle Phil is ready to get us out of here. Thanks to Rainsburg. Great job as always. Thanks to all of you for calling, emailing, texting, and commenting. Love when you interact with us here on the program. We'll do it all over again tomorrow at 3 right here on AM 1310 WDPN. And don't forget, until then, and as always, go Guards, go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs. Enjoy the beautiful weather, everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.